We're not messing
Yeah,
around. Here we go. Let's start off with a little bit
I
of
like that. I
gratitude.
like that.
Okay. What are you grateful for first?
I'm grateful for definitely the mics and all the equipment we have
Can
here.
you hear us now?
Yeah,
I'm grateful for the headphones. I'm
yeah,
grateful that you know how to work this kind of stuff.
sort of.
I'm grateful for the mini bar we kind of set up here, mini juice bar, water bar, tea bar. I'm grateful for fluids. I'm grateful
Mhm.
for my bed that gave me good rest.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely grateful for that. Again, I'm grateful for being able to do this, just to talk and help people out with anything that's coming their way because we've probably been there
I am.
and
I'm
we've gone
grateful.
through a lot of stuff.
I'm grateful that we're doing this. I'm grateful for the plants. I'm grateful for the my little cart. Is it time to start? Have I been?
I think I'm definitely grateful.
All right, let's get it started.
Definitely. We're John and Stephanie. We are the founders of Plantspiration. That's a nonprofit we started to help people prevent and reverse disease and, to live a healthier life, help animals and the planet.
Nice.
Yeah.
People know us for losing 250 pounds as a family and reversing a slew of our own chronic diseases. Nowadays, people know us for reaching and teaching people all over the world how to get healthy too. Wow.
Hmm.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you
Welcome.
so much for being here. I want to remind you to like, subscribe, share, and remind you how grateful we are that you're here listening to this. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Right?
This episode, by the way, from personal to professional achievements this year was nothing short of extraordinary.
Heck yeah.
You know what made this happen?
Uh,
Manifesting.
yeah.
The power of manifesting. So pull up a chair, get your water, your tea, your walk, whatever it is, and get ready to get inspired with us as we share experiences, lessons, and actionable insights
Yeah. Yeah.
to how to become, I guess, a master manifester
Definitely.
and transform your life. We're going to go over let's just the 2024 year in review. When we started going over like what are we going to talk about? Let's talk,
Yeah.
in this right here that we're here. It's like full circle of
It is just making it happen, manifesting and
look at this my Plantspiration Unplugged notebook that we talk
hmm.
about,
Right,
that I
right.
took that and I wrote plants, the unplugged part, the logo that you see right now on this
Right, right.
podcast.
Yep.
I did that first
Yep.
and then said, okay, let's do
Let's
this.
make this
Like I
happen.
had to see it. And then it seemed real to me like, oh, we've got a logo for the
Hmm.
podcast.
It wasn't just an idea we've been kicking around. Now it's down on paper.
It's down on paper.
Hmm.
We're going to talk a little bit about that today.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week. It was Christmas. That's done.
Right, right.
Got through that. Everybody got through that. Okay, I hope. We're sending out love.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we're kind of getting ready for the new year. And I'm realizing how to get better focused on things as we go through stuff. I
Hmm.
mean, well, first of all, we got in here a little bit earlier today.
Yeah, definitely. I got
Lesson
stuff to
learned.
do.
Yeah, lesson learned. Well, we
We got a
do.
lot to do. Yeah, and there's really not.
What do you what do you have to do today, by the way?
Oh, I'm gonna work.
You
I
got
got
a lot
some
of work.
design work. I got some machining to do. Yeah.
Thanks for manifesting that.
Yeah, I didn't even know that's what I was doing.
Well, I've been
Like,
talking about it for a
oh, I
while.
mean, years ago, I didn't, only, yeah, I mean, way long time ago when I started my business, I didn't really understand about manifesting, I just like set my mind to it, wrote stuff down,
We,
notes of what I wanted and, how to start my shop. And
yeah, it's like I mean, everybody I think is manifesting something.
hmm.
Everybody is manifesting when you're wishing for something or you want something to happen. We tapped into it a billion times. Like we
Right.
tapped into that, like, oh, I wish I had this or I want that. But we really didn't realize until we did it a few times and we looked back and kind of scratched our head. I was like,
Mm.
that sounds like we manifested that, but it seemed too like woo woo. Is that a
Well, yeah, yeah, definitely. I
woo
mean,
woo?
you,
What do I mean by that?
what do you mean by that? That's just like, well, it's just, yeah, whatever.
I didn't
I
believe in
just,
it.
yeah,
It didn't seem
it
real,
seemed
kind of.
real. Yeah.
What was, you manifested your business. You know that you got that going. That seemed easier because you kind of knew what it looked like to run a shop, do a shop. You knew what you were doing
Yeah.
and you wanted it.
Yeah. Excuse me. It was easier. Yeah, exactly. I already knew. I laid it down in my head and then put it on paper and made it happen.
Kind of like when people go on a vacation, is what I say. You go on a vacation and you know exactly where you're going. I mean, we've talked about going on vacations, but we never really did it until actually this year. This year was like our first time going
Right,
actual, like
right,
not fully work, but
right.
we're gonna
Like
go
one of us wasn't on a business trip and the other one was just tagging along kind of a thing.
exactly.
Or when we go out to the medical conference, you know.
People manifest their vacations, people manifest their job, people manifest.
Mhm.
I think we even did things that we didn't want to have happen.
Well, I think it works both ways.
Yeah, it does.
All that cliche, you gotta worry about or how is it, be careful what you wish for, kind of a thing.
I do have to be careful. And you know that there's some truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that. And we see it time and time. Are you okay over there?
Yeah.
It's foggy, it's murky, it's allergies come
It
through.
is. It's
So,
now in my throat.
but we're not going to stop. We're going to keep on going.
Hmm.
So, doing this podcast, this is a whole nother level of, we're going to really make this manifestation go
Mm.
to town. I'm going to visualize this even more, is what I kept telling John. And I just want you to keep thinking about. Actually, I remember the scene from Coal Miner's Daughter when, she finally got, they're working so hard, they're working so hard, they're working so hard. And they
Oh
finally
yeah.
get into the record studio and he goes, you know,
Oh yeah. They're at the radio station, like, hey, come on, play the record.
and they're like, yeah, we already know who you are.
Yeah.
And she was like, what?
Yeah. Like it was really cool because they didn't know. They were just like focused on working and
Loretta Lynn
cranking it
didn't
out,
know. They
cranking
just were
it out.
going all over the place. They were just trying to get their record out, get the DJs to play the record.
There
That
was
was
a
me.
little, it was an interview and she said something.
And he goes, you really don't know. And they're like, no, we've been out here working. We really don't know.
Hmm.
I'm just saying that's how we felt when we are kind of
Right.
seeing the numbers coming into the
Definitely.
podcast. We
The
were like,
guy's like, the guy's like, you're on the charts. Like, we're playing your record. Oh yeah, it was something the manager was,
yeah,
we're never gonna play your record. And like, don't worry about it, kids.
yeah.
You're on the charts. There's nothing he can do. We're playing your record.
And then they realized that they really didn't know. Loretta Lynn really didn't know that this was going on. And that's kind of what's happening with the podcast. We
Yeah,
kind of aren't
definitely,
we aren't
definitely.
really paying attention to what's going on. We've just
No,
been kind of manifesting that we're doing it, we're showing up, and we're going to figure it out as we go along. Did we say
definitely.
thank you to everybody for being here?
Yeah, thank you.
And this podcast is brought to you by Meyer.
Yeah.
They have supplied all the food into this smoothie, into this juice,
Hmm.
into this tea that we have here. So thank you. We love Myers. Shout
Yeah,
out to
definitely.
Larry, the produce department guy.
Yeah, I'm into that new case of kale. Thanks,
Yes,
Larry.
thank you, Larry. So we did put together a little list.
Hmm.
And we don't usually do these show notes, but we're learning as we go along. And this was a lot of stuff. I started putting down a couple things.
I mean, I see the printer going. I'm like, holy cow, what do we got here?
Well, I had other notes that came up. So we've got this list of things. And I mean, right off the bat this year, it started off with a bang when I found out that we were going to be in Dr. Neil Barnard's new book, The Power Foods Diet.
Yeah, right.
What?
What?
But I'd been manifesting this.
And you have.
People might not believe that or what I mean by that. Or I didn't wake up and be like, I'm going to be in Dr. Barnard's book today. That was not really the way I went about it, but I envisioned things like
Yeah.
people know me for losing 100 pounds and my family losing 250 pounds. And I'd said it so many times that I was envisioning like when I stand in front of people and I say it,
Hmm.
and lo and behold, that actually happened.
Yeah, it did.
It took years.
Oh
It
yeah.
did. It took years for this to happen, for me to build this, for me, just all of these
It's
steps.
getting recognition that wow,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is this is huge actually. I mean, to get a whole family to just change everything that they're doing.
He was really blown away. He's very blown away by my story.
Hmm.
And I'm humbled to think that he asked me to be in his book.
Yeah.
And he didn't just ask us, to be in the book. He wrote page 67, 68, and 69, by the way, in the Power Foods Diet. He invited us out to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
They invited us out to Washington, D.C. for the debut of his book.
Yeah, yeah, the whole book debut and book signing out at the DC
Press club.
press club. Yeah,
The
where like
press club.
all the presidents are speaking
I
at
was like,
these.
what? nerve-wracking, doing stuff like this. It
Hmm.
was scary. It felt vulnerable. I'm sharing our story. And it does every time, by the way. People think that this might look easy or
Oh yeah.
sure, but there was a level of vulnerability that I had to face and the scariness of, well, now our story's going out and,
Hmm.
you know, that's a lot. Just think about it if it was you.
It's just your story,
It's
our story. But I mean, that's kind of like doing this. It's like a little nerve-wracking.
We had the whole family,
But anyways,
two
yeah,
of the
they
kids.
invited the whole family and they invited your roller skates.
That
They
wasn't that.
said,
Can you believe this? Talk about a talk about a 2024 takeoff.
right.
They asked if I could, and thank you, by the way,
Yeah,
Physicians Committee,
thank you.
just blown away from the opportunity.
Hmm.
Grateful is an understatement. They have me come out. I'm bringing my light up roller skates.
Yeah.
We've got Chuck, we've got Dr. Barnard, just everybody there. And they're like, yeah, roll across. I just landed. It was like we landed that day
Yeah,
and we did the
the whole
interview.
book signing interview, book release party, really,
The rest of the family really isn't in front of the camera.
right?
Nobody's really
Right.
seen, nobody's really talked about. And all of a sudden, I'm like, you guys have to. I didn't say you have to, but
No,
would you
yeah.
please, pretty please, would you come out to DC?
Hmm.
And two of them did.
Heck yeah,
And
that's
we made it
awesome.
out there. And
We had a
that
great
was our
time.
first family trip like
Like,
that
yeah,
ever.
definitely. All of us at once.
So
I
that
mean, it's
was
been like you with one of the kids, and then again with another one of the kids, and it was like kind of all of us flying out somewhere together. Almost all of us.
first big
Yeah,
moment with just being at the press club in DC. Like that was
that was
surreal.
awesome.
That was
Right,
absolutely
right.
surreal. I'm still reflecting on the gratitude. Like that's the stuff I wake up to every day. I'm like, I roller skated across the press club floor.
I know.
What?
I
That's
watch the video sometimes.
do you?
Yeah, yeah.
I see it when I go on my Instagram. Sometimes it pops up where it's like, whatever I'm talking about.
It's
We were
just
just
awesome.
sick, and
Yeah.
we shared our story. Next thing you know, my our pictures are on the big screen, and they're like having the kids stand up, Isabel and Zachary, and it
Yeah.
was. And then
It was great.
we flew back home, and it was right back
Yeah.
to work. We
It
didn't.
was like a rock star thing. In there,
It
do
felt
your
like it.
gig, and then we left the next
Met
day.
so many
It
amazing
was
people.
awesome though.
Plantspiration people showed up in DC.
Yeah.
We have people all over the world
In the
in the
Plantspiration merch, in the
Plantspiration merch.
gear. It
So
was great.
grateful.
That was awesome.
And it didn't stop because once that little
No,
momentum happened, that positive moment, it makes all the yucky stuff go away.
definitely. I
It,
mean, I don't even know what yucky stuff you're talking about.
well, we've gone through a lot of,
Well, yeah.
I mean, there's things that don't go right all the time,
Yeah.
I just spend less time thinking about them.
Yeah, yeah. I
That,
mean, it's more fun with the highlights, not the low lights, you
well,
know?
I'm big on all the highlights.
Yeah.
Let's go down this list. So we
Sure,
actually wrote
sure.
some stuff down. What's next? So after we get back from DC, we're spinning. I'm
Yeah.
popping out these classes every week.
Yep.
We're getting everybody healthier. That's what this is about.
Hmm.
Plantspiration, this nonprofit, the mission is to educate, motivate, and inspire people.
Yep.
And I wake up to that every day.
For sure.
From messages people send
Hmm.
us. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like the person who tagged me yesterday and
Yeah. Somebody you don't even know. They're like,
ne-
hey, this is great. I love your podcast. It's just
you, by the
awesome.
way, you
Yeah.
keep crushing it with your walk, with your routine that you created,
Hmm.
these walks, these miles, these runs, these
Yep.
motivational, and the post that she made and then tags us in it.
It was
Thank you for
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's the stuff that keeps me motivated.
Yeah.
And getting invited to Chicago to another book club.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
was it a book club?
Yeah, then it was closer to home. It was a library downtown for another book signing out here in
Huge
Chicago.
moments. These are huge moments that
Yeah.
when I started this, I would have never believed it, but I had to start believing it. I started putting, we talked about this morning. Say it.
What? I'm seriously, I don't know where you're at because there's a lot of funny stuff.
The way when I wanted to be a food for life instructor and I
Oh my
posted,
God. Yeah, this was manifesting 101 and I didn't know. I don't know. It wasn't really apparent at the time of you see with Dr. Barnard years ago a picture
it was six
excuse me.
years ago.
Right, of another, he's in a picture with
I searched what a
food
food
for
for
life
life instructor
instructor.
looked
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
And I just found somebody's picture. They were lovely.
yeah.
And I put my face actually on it. Like I glued my face on it and I
Yep,
was like,
yep,
this is me
yep.
coming soon.
And you made that happen.
I
That
absolutely did.
happened.
And I believe 100% that was part of it because I had to have something that I visualized.
Hmm.
I didn't know what it was. I was like, I have to know what I have, just like the vacation. I need to think about that beach. I need to think about where I'm going to
Hmm.
keep me motivated to get there. And it did take work. We don't talk
Oh yeah.
about that.
It wasn't like, oh, the next week it happened.
This is what the unplugged part is, like the
Yeah.
behind the scenes part of
This is
what's
the
going
work.
on, the work part of it.
But that also, I mean, just look at us, the strength of that type of manifestation when you really have it there in front of you
I know how
physically.
that is.
Uh-huh.
I brought in the
That's
mother of manifesting.
that's what I'm talking about. That picture there you got there.
Let me just pull this up here.
Yeah,
Sometimes I
for
break it
those of
out.
you on YouTube.
So, this is what we're talking about with manifesting. And
Uh-huh.
if you're new to listening to us, thank you.
Hmm.
We're here to inspire people, motivate people, how we changed our life. It did start with the diet, and that's what we're
Hmm.
teaching people on Wednesday night, that part. And the rest of the week is this part, like how to hit your goals, how to
Right.
make those behavior changes is what I do as a lifestyle medicine coach. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. But I didn't know. I didn't
Right.
know I was doing it. We had little moments in our life where we were like, did we just do that? Like,
Yeah, like how what?
well, the house was when we really
Oh man,
realized
yeah.
we couldn't afford it. We couldn't do it. It was ridiculous. It's just,
New models going up and
I was like, we're going to go look at this new model. And I knew you were like, oh my God,
I
here
was
she
like,
goes.
holy
I
cow.
thought that this
I'm a
was,
guy, I'm looking at the price tag right
well,
away, like,
yeah,
holy smokes.
but
But I'm like, this is perfect for the kids and
I thought this
everything.
was going to make us happy.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to make us happy.
I was like, everybody can have their own room,
But it
which you're
was,
gonna get a little happiness with
sure, but
that.
it was we didn't need to
No.
do that size. We could have done
Hmm.
smaller, but in my mind at the time, that's what I believed. That's what I grew up thinking.
Right.
Like, bigger is better, or this is going to make us happy, or this
Hmm.
is going to make us feel a certain way. So that's on the side. We learned that later, and I'm grateful for everything. But let me get back to the manifesting of the most unrealistic thing at the time, because we were just getting by with making our mortgage payment of the last house we were on, and then I
Hmm.
come in and I'm like, in 5 years we're gonna go to a single family home is how it started.
Right, right.
And so he comes home one day and I'm like, you got to look at this house nearby these models. And we walked in and you were like, this is
Wow.
not gonna happen.
I was like,
And I was
wow.
like, yes, it is. It's gonna happen. I know you can do it. And you had your own business, no
Yeah.
pressure for
Well,
anybody listening. That's scary.
yeah, I manifested that and started that business. And
But you didn't know at the time that that's what you were doing,
no, I was
manifesting.
just starting to shop every machinist once. Oh, I'm gonna, get some
You had a
machines at
visual.
home.
You
Yeah,
knew what
but
it
I
looked
didn't
like.
want to just putz around on the weekend if I'm gonna have machines at home. I want to make some coin.
Well, and you
Didn't
took
want to,
action.
yeah.
And action comes
Like
in
I got kids to feed. Shit.
action comes in many different ways.
Yeah.
So the action of the house and the visualization of that
That was
was,
just amazing that that all happened like that.
did you know? I mean,
I mean, we would go there like every other week, at least every
it was
month.
every month for a year, by the way, you guys.
Hmm.
So when people think things happen overnight, no, but having patience is part of it. So
I
every,
remember the last time that we were in that we went to visit our new house that we're in the model home and I'm just like really uncomfortable at this point. It's been a
well,
year. I'm
this
like kicking it in the couch there and other people were coming in the model. I'm like leaning back, hey, come on in, come on.
literally,
Like it was ours. I pictured us.
we were being
It was
silly.
ours. Yeah.
We thought we were being silly, but we were really putting it out there and
Hmm.
envisioning ourselves in it. We envisioned where all the kids' rooms were.
Hmm.
I envisioned what it was going to look like
Hmm.
before I even knew what making a vision board was.
Yeah, right.
I everything. And the salespeople were actually kind of like, oh
I
my
giggle in
gosh.
probably.
They're like, here comes these people
These guys ain't
again.
gonna be able to do this.
Seriously,
No, really.
because we were coming every month, and they probably it took us a year to get our finances together and it
Hmm.
was a hard year. So there's that action phase of if I wanted it, not only did I visualize it, but we had to go and work at that.
Yeah, definitely.
Like and how did I do it? I made the list. We're going to cut off this. We're going to cut back on this. We're going to do this. It,
Hmm.
it took it took some work to do it. But my gosh, when you've got a goal and you've got something that you're visualizing, it makes you want it. It makes it happen.
It makes it happen.
It makes it happen. And try it.
That's the manifesting
I'm going to
part.
give you my 5 tips at the end of how I teach
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah.
talk about it, what we've learned, our experiences, and how we're going to keep going.
Hmm.
How we're going to keep going because when we started this in 2013, it was January 7th, 2013.
Hmm.
I'll never forget our anniversary date coming up. We started it and I just wanted to lose weight. I didn't even know what I was manifesting. I just didn't want to die. So it was like,
Yeah.
I just want to not do this right. I don't want to die. I want to do this right. So I just started doing it. And then 3 months in was when I started. I just thought I have to get moving. I have to get exercising. We have to do something. And the weight was coming off, but I realized I didn't have a vision of myself.
Yeah, definitely.
I didn't know what I looked like, small, thin.
You just wanted to do this, but
It started
you didn't
happening.
have that visual.
I didn't have the visual. I'd never looked like this my
Hmm.
whole life.
Right.
So I did something ridiculous while I was going through the weight loss and it was coming off so quick. And I was manifesting in that Pinterest. I had, and I just, man, I can't stand that one. It was hard for me to work with. But anyway, I made of closets on Pinterest. And I started putting in all these what I would wear because everything I
Right,
wore up
right.
until this point in my life was black on black on black on black, and I only wore black.
Yeah.
Everything, maybe
With
polka
black
dots,
accessories.
always. So I started being a little bit more open minded too. I'm gonna wear jeans.
Yeah.
I
And a
didn't wear
blouse
jeans
or
all the
something
time.
like.
Yeah, or a blouse or a jacket or, I started a whole closet of stuff.
Mhm.
And I took this one picture. The date is on here.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, look at
Wow.
it. What's the date on there? Up at the top left.
Oh, that's April Fool's in
That's not
2013.
an April Fool's.
No, it's not. But wow. April
I
1st,
took
2013.
this picture
Yeah.
and I taped it on the recumbent bike and
Yeah.
I said, I'm gonna do this.
Hmm.
And we talked about it in one of the episodes where you were like, okay.
Yeah, well, it's like a lady walking, definitely thin in shape, looking good, cute. You can't, and the way her hair is, the way her head's turned, you can't see her face.
Was perfect.
I'm like, this is
I
you.
could visualize myself here.
Totally.
And that's what I did. And it wasn't until later that I was like, oh my goodness, this was my visualization.
Hmm.
The working out, the lifting weights, the keeping going at it. Even when days were
Totally.
bad, I was like, I'm going to do this. That's manifesting, but we lose track of it. We lose track of how it goes, but
That was just that. I mean, it's amazing what you did.
we manifested that,
You
which
definitely,
manifested everything else.
yeah.
Manifested getting on my bike, which, by the way, how many miles was it? 1,500 miles I got in this
Yeah,
year?
this year, 1500. Yeah.
I think I'm at about 18, 19,000 miles on my
Yeah,
bike.
you're probably, I think you're probably like you're like 19.5 or 18.5. I don't,
Something like that.
hmm.
19,044 miles on my
Oh,
bike.
nice. You hit 19.
So amazing. And we did something new this year. This was another thing this year we did. We did kayaking.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Tried
Right.
something new.
That was cool.
Thank you, Margot. We love
Happy
that.
birthday.
Again, just these events that we kept going back and going, wow, we did this or we did. It might not seem like a big deal to people, but there was one point I couldn't even walk around my house. So to get on a kayak and go do these things that I was completely scared,
Hmm.
terrified. I used to say things like, I'm never going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm
Like I've
man.
said that too about kayaking. I'm like, I don't know.
We manifested that.
I'm not a water person, but man, we had such a darn good time.
But
By the
back,
time we left on the way home, I'm like, I'm gonna buy some of these.
I know.
And you're like, no, you're not. We're just gonna rent them when we. You're like, right. You're right.
Don't you think it was like we kind of manifested things not to happen
Oh,
before
sure.
all of this too? Like we just believed that
I'm
this was just
sure.
how it was going to be.
Well, yeah. Once you say, yeah, no, I'm not doing that, or I can't do that. You're not. You're not going.
You're not going to do it.
Hmm.
I'm things just kept growing for us. I went from not leaving the house.
Hmm.
There was a time, by the way, now this is some vulnerable stuff.
Hmm.
I was afraid to ride the highway.
Oh yeah.
That's where I'm coming from, you guys. I used to be afraid to go on the tollway,
Like
the highway, the
driving
express lane
yourself.
down to Chicago. Like I couldn't do stuff like that.
Right.
I believed I couldn't do stuff like that. I told myself, nope, I can't do that. And that went on for 45 years.
Yeah. So we actually barely ever went to Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, we were born there, but I was like, well, I don't know how to get down there, so we're just not going to do it. A train, oh, I was taught, be terrified of everything.
Yeah. What?
And it just gets stuck in you, but
So
we can
sheltered.
undo it. We didn't know.
I
We're
know.
getting out of there. Next thing you know, we're kayaking,
Yeah.
and then we're flying back out to DC by August.
Yep. Yep. For ICNM. Yep.
International Conference of Nutrition and Medicine, our highlight of the year to go see our colleagues,
Mm-hmm.
learn more on nutrition.
That's right.
And we got to meet some really incredible people. That
Yeah.
You Are What You Eat movie, Christopher Garner.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait. And,
The
and he was
twins.
so
Yeah.
awesome to talk
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Right away, I was like, we're doing a documentary. We've lost all this weight.
Right.
I'm so grateful somebody's doing the study so that we can refer to them. We don't
Yeah,
write them.
exactly.
We just talk to
We
the people
just,
that do
yeah,
them.
we read them and talk. Yeah, exactly.
It was incredible. So we can't wait to get back to DC, learn more stuff this year. I already saw a little bit of what's going in. It's gonna be another
Man, there was
awesome
a
year.
lot going on there. John Abramson and
Yeah,
with
he
sick
sickening. That book
sickening.
is great too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Awesome.
and I'm hearing more and more people talking about this pharmaceutical stuff.
Oh
Now
yeah.
people are catching on. Let's talk about that
Yeah.
for a second.
Hmm.
Everybody's realizing, these designer drug commercials on
Mm-hmm.
TV are a joke.
They are.
Listen to the way that they're talking with the music over it.
And it's
No,
just
this is
people
great.
dancing in the
My
streets
arms
and
are falling off. My eyes are bleeding.
hmm
You could die. You might die. And they say it with this pretty music, like, and they're dancing around.
yeah.
This is the BS that if you're, this is how people manifest themselves right into that pill.
Yeah.
In those moments, like, and we only are one of two countries that advertise like that.
Mm-hmm.
We want Plantspiration commercials advertised so that people know where to go to
Mm-hmm.
learn how to prevent and reverse disease, lose weight, feel great, and keep it off. That's what I'm manifesting next
Right.
is
Right.
commercials, more advertisement. But
The,
this right here is helping.
yeah, exactly.
We're
This is
making
what we need.
money
This is our
coming in
commercial.
to get more for marketing
Mm-hmm.
every
Mm-hmm.
little bit. And tell them how excited I get over the littlest amounts.
Oh, yeah, definitely the
Two
littlest
cents.
amount. Hey, it's awesome though.
I'm
Like,
like,
wow,
look at this. I'm
it's like
8.3.
that's awesome. I mean, you're just doing great posts and spreading the information and helping people.
That's what we want to do. And we
Yeah.
don't want it to be an arm and a leg. We already
No.
have that problem. People are
Yeah.
already spending money. People are already getting duped. We don't want that to happen. We want
Mm-mm.
people to actually learn how to do this.
Yeah.
It's not just a diet. It's like you can maintain it. That's what we're watching happen over here.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of the medical commercials,
Yeah,
the
go on.
medicine, ask your doctor if this BS is right for you. That's just no. It's gonna turn around. Tell your doctor that Plantspiration is right for you.
And we have doctors that are telling people that Plantspiration is
We
right
have,
for them.
yeah.
And if you are a
It's
doctor,
doctor recommended. We've had them send patients and we help them out. It's
if you're a
amazing.
doctor out there listening, by the way,
Hmm.
you can contact me, Stephanie at plantspiration.org.
Hmm.
We will create a QR code for your patient. So any
Yep.
doctor, the doctors that do refer their patients, will say, Dr. John, he's got a QR code, gives to the patient, here's a month free.
Yeah.
So if you're a doctor and you want to refer somebody to Plantspiration, we offer a
Right.
free month. We just want people to feel what this feels like
Well,
because
it's
they're going to
really
love it.
right, right. And it's just a big help to doctors because this is the support that the doctor can't like maintain. And,
Right.
it's the support that people need, really.
And there's current health model doctors, you
Hmm.
know what I mean? And then there's lifestyle medicine doctors. Those are
Right.
the ones I mostly work with and meet and see. The lifestyle medicine takes a whole different approach. It's another health model that gets into healthy eating,
Hmm.
physical activity, managing stress, sleep, removing toxins, and relationship support. Well, what
Definitely.
do you know? What does that sound like to you?
Sounds like us.
Inspiration
Inspiration, baby.
is why we started this, and this is the approach we have.
Heck yeah.
So we didn't just celebrate going out and doing business stuff.
Uh-huh.
We celebrated 30 years of marriage this
Yeah,
year.
wow. Right? It's been
Not
one
easy.
one heck of a year.
Yeah,
We've done a lot. I mean, there's
30 years.
30 years. Yep.
You're not the same guy I married.
What?
but you're the same guy I married,
I
but you're
know.
not.
I know.
All of these things we've actually gone through.
We're not the same people.
We're not the same people. We're not thinking the
I
same way
mean, we're
about things.
better versions of how we used to be.
And that's what I want to inspire people. We were so stuck. We were stuck in our marriage. We were stuck in
Hmm.
our relationship. We were
Yeah.
stuck in this doom and gloom, but we were drinking through it. You know what
Uh-huh.
I mean? We didn't have these
Drinking through it,
aspirations.
pitching at the TV while the news is on.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
freaking.
I don't miss that.
No,
I
this is
don't miss that.
much better life.
This podcast, I'm going to say it right here in front of everybody.
Hmm.
This has helped our relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, we're good. We've gone through so much, by the way. We aren't
Yeah.
just coming up here like 30 years later, like, this has been awesome.
No.
This has been hard.
Yeah.
This has been hard. And then to put ourselves out there in front of you guys, that's not easy either.
Right.
It's
It's just like
scary.
out there for.
Everybody's going to hear what we're going through,
Well, that's just it. I mean, we're normal, like in that
as normal as can be.
aspect of, yeah, going through stuff together. And then we just try to always, how do we do better? How do we do better from thinking to
This put it under
talking
the
to
microscope though.
everything? Yeah.
This put it under the microscope because you can tell if I'm getting, frustrated, but I'm really good at guiding, like, think positive and,
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
do
Yeah.
this. But I
You're an
watched,
awesome coach.
thank you. I think so. And that's not something I would say.
Well, that's
You,
awesome.
the old
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I would be like, I'm dumb, I'm stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. I
That'll
don't know.
never happen. That is the way I talk to myself.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
used to talk to myself and I believed it and I
Yeah.
manifested it.
You believe what you,
You believe what you put out there.
yeah, exactly.
We're celebrating 30 years. I'm sure as time goes by, people will hear more about our relationship and how it did grow, but it shifted. I went from being no aspirations, no goals to an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
a CEO.
Hmm.
I'm having board meetings, stuff that, like,
Yeah.
what?
Like that's like big people stuff.
That's
It's
kind of
like
like the shift we went through.
yeah.
And I want everybody to know that they can do this too. They can do whatever they want, but there's a process to it. And
Definitely.
we're learning how to get it done, and we're gonna continue to learn how to get better at it.
I mean, that's yeah, definitely manifesting, but the big thing is it actually doing it. That step of starting what you've been wanting to do, that you've been
You
thinking about
you
doing,
talk about it
that
for a
you've
long
written
time.
down and whatnot. I mean, you still, what the manifesting does is just really opens up
Well, it
the
makes
ability to pick up on the opportunities that are going to help you get to your goal.
think right now if you're listening to this, what do you want?
Mhm.
What do you want? What do you want to have happen? I mean, because I don't know one person out there who is manifesting, I want to be unhealthy, broke, and miserable. Nobody's manifesting that kind of stuff. Nobody's wishing that kind of stuff.
No.
I want to help people hone in on those tools to sharpen it and to keep it easy
Mhm.
by just sharing some of the stuff that we're doing because this whole podcast has been a manifestation of we can do this, we got this, let's just
Yep.
start it. And we've learned to quiet down the doubt. We've learned to quiet the limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
It's grown exponentially.
Well, yeah. I mean, just talking about it, I think like
Look how
I don't
far you've come.
I
8 episodes, you're a totally different podcaster.
Oh God.
No, seriously, seriously.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's
You don't
awesome. Well,
notice.
thank you.
You don't notice. You were like the nerves, which are
Yeah. Well,
normal.
this is what I wanted to do, but yeah, it's just like, oh shit, this is real. Like it's
You still get a little nervous.
yeah, I guess. Yeah.
How do you think you've shifted that over? When we think
Not
about
worrying about it.
reframing the obstacle,
Yeah. Well, I kind of had to think back of all the things that we have done and manifested and just think like
like the wins.
I didn't think about it. I'm going to start a machine shop and, I never once thought about failing. I never once thought about any
Give me
negativeness
some.
about it.
No, you've always been really
And
positive.
like I haven't been negative about the podcast, but you're like, it's a little weird when the light goes
And
on.
it's hard
You're
for me.
recording and it's like,
And it's
it's
hard.
different.
It's
It's
hard also. Like, here's a relationship thing. It's hard for me to not say, stop getting nervous, stop getting nervous, stop getting nervous, because I see it like elevates it. So, kind of like what I coach, focus back on you. So, when that's going on, when I see you kind of getting nervous or it's getting closer time, I'm even learning to just shut it and focus on me and think, we got this. This is going to be great. This is going to be another great episode. And we're finding that balance. That's not easy to take constructive criticism for each other. And we've
no,
really put that out there too.
that's hard
Like,
for.
hey, ask somebody, ask your spouse, what do you not like about me? We got to get that stuff out.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a tough one.
What are you thinking of? Are you actually thinking of something you don't like?
No, not at
Like,
all.
you're
Like,
the way you
well, I
just
was just
looked, I was
thinking
like,
about that.
wow.
Like, that's hard to. Yeah, that kind of leaves you like,
Well, we've
what?
worked through a lot of this stuff
Yeah.
because I started getting to a point where I'm just going to say it. And I would say it with, I love you. I'm not trying to hurt any feelings, but I want to make this part better
Yeah.
and I want to talk about it. And I know you're not going to like it.
Uh,
But we faced that hard stuff.
yeah.
We had to because we didn't want to feel tension in here. We want to be as real as possible for people. We
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
say like things have not been easy. You
Right.
know,
Right.
we deal with stuff, but we're learning how to deal with it better so that we can better, inspire people. Change can happen, but
Hmm.
it's gonna take some work.
Right. I mean, really, I think it's important. We want to help. I'm never coming from a place like talking down to people like, you got to do this and you got to do that.
Gosh,
And
no.
this,
And I'm
there's
sure
so
I've done
much of
that in
that
the
noise
past.
on
Well,
the internet. Oh,
we've
it's
done that in the
painful.
beginning. We were kind of like, you got to do it, you got to do it. And we learned that's not
Yeah.
really the
Yeah.
approach. So just to be honest, you're right. It's just doing it and being the inspiration is what I tell everybody
Hmm.
in the group. Like, this is just the way you have to really focus on you.
Yeah.
And that's the most inspiring thing.
I mean, it is. I'll tell you what, because I see on our Saturday meetings when we all get together and talk about how their week went, I see all the awesomeness that you're doing with all the members that you've seen during the week.
It's
They're
incredible.
on track, they're doing great.
It's
They're
not just about weight.
no, no, it's oh my God, no. There's so
Everybody's
much
coming in
more
there
to it.
with, I'm I'm not really in, everybody's going in with a no resolution, but and they're able to focus on these other important
Mhm.
things like
Like
they
that,
want to be better manifestors, kind
right?
of
The resolution, yeah, is
to
not.
get better at
They're
what they're
not
doing.
using it as
I'll
losing
start.
weight and getting healthy. Like that's already in motion.
They've already done it. That's
Yeah.
what's going on at Plantspiration. You come in thinking, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to do this, but there's something different going on. This is not just a diet. So I've really honed in on behavior
Yeah.
changing tools to help make these things come to fruition for
Right.
people
Right.
because they can do it. But we've spent so many times failing at things and we get really stuck on that. Like,
I
you know
mean,
what? I suck at this.
yeah, I see the people that would talk to themselves how you would talk. I'm stupid. I'm not going to do
It
it.
happens.
I've seen that. And now later, months or a year later, whatever, how it's been a while,
It takes
it's
time.
turned around.
It
And that
takes
person
time.
that I'm thinking about is doing great.
She's doing
Doesn't talk
amazing.
to herself like that anymore. And
No,
it's just such an
so
inspiration.
many of
You're
us.
doing such good work. It's
Thank
just
you.
great. It's awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I love
and
you.
and I can't wait to talk later about our Plantspiration Health
That's
Report.
coming
Other
too.
people had checked in.
This
That's
might
great.
go over because this was a big year and
Doesn't
all of the
matter.
things that so far we've talked about
Hmm.
uh, were not even near a
Hmm.
possibility in my mind 12 years ago. I
No.
couldn't walk. I couldn't do any. I didn't even know how to run a Word document. There's also that kind of stuff. I didn't have a computer for work. I had a computer for
Yeah.
paying bills. You know what I mean? And going on Facebook and
That was just
goofing
your
around.
phone.
I didn't know
You
how to actually
never.
do any Excel sheets,
No.
Word documents, little things that I didn't believe I could do. And
Yeah.
then once you do it, you're like, oh, okay, I can get better
I
at
just
this.
see it.
Just a
Yeah.
small example of
Yeah.
many things. And then we had our oldest kid turn 30.
Yeah. Definitely.
Can you believe that?
That's
Look
awesome.
at how much this impacted our kids
Hmm.
just by not the diet part, just the whole, wow. To hear your kids say they're proud of you. I'm living for that.
Hmm.
Doesn't that feel good?
That is awesome. Are you kidding me?
That took work.
I'm just, yeah, wow.
That took work. See what I mean? It takes some work going through so much of this. Just Get ready to get inspired. We didn't just celebrate that. Then we went to, like I said, we went to South Carolina, and we
Yeah.
actually took we actually took like a trip for us.
Yep.
And that was beautiful.
That was great.
Grateful again.
Definitely. I mean,
Celebrating
that
Leo's,
was,
let's just say it was Leo's fifth birthday. It
yeah.
was the first birthday that we attended because they moved down to South Carolina, and it
Hmm.
was breaking my heart. And
That was just a super good time.
Leo, Auntie Stephanie, and Uncle John love you,
Yeah.
and we can't wait to interview. 5 years old, he turned five, reading books third level.
Yeah.
They're called like third level
He's
books he's
crushing
reading.
it.
Big words, not like Dick and Jane. Like this kid was, he was vegan from the day of conception,
Hmm.
and he's been vegan ever since. And I can't tell my best friend enough. This is no coincidence. Well,
Right.
she's amazing. I mean,
Right.
she's
Right.
done the work. She's an incredible mother, but it, I hear time and time again.
Telling you, it's in nutrition.
It is. Well, he's eating so good. He's eating the
Yeah.
fiber, he's eating the beans, he's eating smoothies, he's eating all the things that she's been introducing him to, different than how we all grew up. So
Yeah, definitely. He's crushing it.
we love that, and we're grateful for getting for out there for that.
Mhm.
Starting the podcast.
Wow.
That was just in
Wow.
November.
Yeah.
Like the year flew by. We've done, what was the numbers? 248 Saturday support groups,
Yeah. Wow.
52 grocery hauls, 53 motivation Mondays,
Mhm.
52 Thursday thrives. What are those? Those are all my coaching
Yep.
live.
Those are the live group coachings. They're awesome.
Every week I'm getting in front of people in my
Yeah.
group because I love that I know who they are, what they're
You
doing.
can like talk to more people in that amount of time.
Well, it's also very individual. So I know
Hmm.
exactly, and I love that. And they're just, I just love what I
It's
do.
awesome. All the text, during the lives, I see the questions and different chats going on, of
Lots of work.
it's awesome. People are doing great.
And you've seen those get better,
Yep.
my lives. And everything kind evolves once you just start going through it and
Hmm.
realizing this isn't going to be perfect the first time, or this is probably going to suck the first one. I can't wait till we have so many episodes. Here I am manifesting till we go
Yep.
back and cringe at the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was the thing I was thinking, I was definitely nervous and worried about, oh, how's it going to go? And then, all right, now, we'll do the next one will be better
It's
and the
going to be
next one will
great.
be better. And it's been a great time. We've been doing it.
The growth of Plantspiration too, when I see the year-end numbers and the stuff I did and
Hmm.
what we've done and what we started off with, again, all manifesting. I'm going to the top. Plantspiration around the world.
Hmm.
I eat, breathe, and sleep these visual practices of gratitude, all these things I'm going to
Yeah.
talk about.
Yep.
Because if we told people where we were even 2 years ago,
Yeah.
you don't even want to talk about it.
No, I mean, we were
It
already
was bad.
plant-based and everything, but yeah,
Yeah, we lose the weight, everything's going great, but I don't ever want to come off like things have been easy or we've just, skated through and jobs have been
exactly.
great. There's been some incredible obstacles, but what we've
Hmm.
learned through all this is that we, I mean, me more so than ever, stay positive, manifest we're going to get out of this.
Yeah.
You know, we were in bad shape.
Yeah, definitely. I was like not I'm I
You
was
lost
practically
work.
spiraling. Yeah,
You
just
spiraled a
got
little
worried
bit
about it, losing a customer, and it was just they just kind of shut down that division, so the work wasn't coming in.
all of a
The
sudden.
design work. Yeah, I was like,
I think that
oh what?
I watched you kind of spiral worrying so much about it that that's
Hmm.
all you thought about. And I watched it get worse and worse. And then I kind of was like, I'm just going to go off in my own world. I'm going to stay focused on me and everything's going to be okay. Meanwhile, our son almost died.
Yep.
There's other losses that we incurred during this moment.
Yeah.
It was, I did talk about losing my 501(c)(3 at the same time. I did get it back, by the way. I never really covered that. Like, I got it back. I made it all
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
We were behind in mortgage payments. We
Hmm.
were behind in all of our bills. And we were in a place in our relationship that we didn't even know how to communicate
Yeah. It
through
wasn't.
that.
Yeah. It really wasn't.
We weren't unhappy, but we were just
But
like
we weren't happy.
pretending that this wasn't happening.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how to handle all that
That
stuff.
was some back burner stuff, but it was boiling over.
And we were still doing this. This was like my keeping this going was all I cared about. See what I mean? I stayed so focused on this and I believed in this. And I was like, we got this. We can do this. And I kept telling you,
Hmm.
don't think about what's not going right. I need you to
Right,
envision
right.
yourself right now getting more jobs and getting those checks and making this happen.
Yeah.
And I think you were like, yeah, whatever. You're not the one that has to. There was a little of that going on,
Well, yeah, it just, yeah. Well, yeah, I was like, it's not just that easy,
but it
you know?
worked.
But yeah, it did.
What changed?
Just had to change my mind
You had to
about
talk
it.
about it. We had
Hmm.
to talk about it. And that was
Hmm.
not an easy conversation.
Oh,
That was hard. But thank you for doing that.
yeah, I just had to really think
Face
about it
it.
and face it and
This sucks. We're
go,
screwed.
yeah, and then get over
Now what?
that and go to the positive side. Now, what can I do to make it better? You
Thank
know,
you. I'm giving you,
I
like,
can't.
I can't do it enough gratitude in here for what you've done. None of this would be happening if it wasn't for you. You know, people are listening to this and we're having fun and we're roller skating and doing our bikes, but truly, this wouldn't be
Yeah,
happening
it's not all bikes and roller skates.
if it wasn't for, I wouldn't be able to pull off all these classes. And then you're here for the Saturday support groups and all these things if it wasn't for you, because we're volunteering our time for this. I'm
Yeah.
not making money off of memberships. Where this nonprofit, the money goes right back into helping other
Yeah. I
people.
mean, we pretty much run on donations and membership, and all that money goes back out to
2 years ago, this
the community.
seemed impossible to achieve. It was some of
Yeah.
our worst moments in our 30 years
Yeah.
that we've gone through. But this was the for better or for worse,
Hmm.
for
Definitely.
richer, for poorer, in
Yeah.
sickness
Did
and
they
in
even
health.
sell you? Did it
I
say that?
just said that for Zachary's
Oh,
wedding.
I know you did.
I just said
Did they
it.
say that for ours?
They
Richer or
did.
poorer, probably,
Yeah. But we weren't paying attention. And we almost gave up a few times.
yeah.
But thank God we didn't.
Yeah, no doubt.
We
Jeez
made it
Louise. Come
because
on.
I just kept thinking we got to tell more people that we can we can keep getting better at things.
Definitely.
The food kept us grounded, like being healthy and knowing
Yeah.
we've got some anchor too. We could get through this. We could get stronger. We could learn how to get better. This all changed tremendously.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, a little bit of sickness and people, dying and things happening. It's like, it
And
can
10
just
years
feel
ago,
yucky. Yeah.
none of this seemed possible. 12 years ago, this was are you joking me? We would have laughed at if we would have laughed at ourselves
Yeah.
if we saw ourselves for the future. Like if didn't Did I ever talk about the time I had the psychic who said I was
Uh,
going to be known for nutrition? Did I even tell these
oh,
people this? And I
I
was
don't know.
like, yeah, okay. That happened, by the way.
That's right.
That happened where about 15 years ago, I had a psychic come over here for some party
Yeah.
and I was completely in disbelief. Like I was going with this trend of having this guy out.
Yeah.
And he came over here and he was like, you're going to reach your goal weight. And I was like, did it? I'm wearing my size 14s.
Yeah.
My pants I hold up and say these are my skinny jeans. And he said you're going to be known for nutrition. And I held up my glass of vodka and I said, yeah, okay, potatoes.
Yeah.
That's all I knew about nutrition. Like, and I'm lucky I knew that.
Wow. Wow.
A couple years later, I went back and I did my first talk and I was like, oh my gosh, I just did a talk in front of 800 people. This dude is right. And I called him back up. I was like, dude, this was accurate.
He's like, I've been waiting for you to call.
No, he didn't.
I knew who it was as soon as he picked it up.
All of this has been possible because of your support and us working through
Oh,
this. And so thank you for all
just
of that. I
us
don't thank you enough.
being driven. Thank you for being the support that I needed, in
Don't give
those
a clump
times.
on me. I'm ready to cry.
Yeah, don't
It's
run my
emotional what we
mascara.
go through. And we've learned
Yeah,
to kind of talk better about the stuff.
yeah, yeah. Well, if you don't
Brings
talk
me
about it,
out.
it's terrible.
Oh, and
You
we've
know.
done that too. Let's
Yeah,
just pretend that's not happening right now.
people do that for years, and that's not.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Deal with
Don't
it.
get stuck.
Hmm.
I don't get stuck. Don't be stuck. You're only as stuck as you allow yourself to be. You can get unstuck and it's going to be hard.
A
It's
lot of
going to
that
be really
stuff is
hard.
what holds people back from excelling and
And they don't believe it.
having the support or the in themselves that they know, yeah, they can do it. They need to believe in
I got
themselves.
just the place for them to believe in themselves.
Plantspiration.
Plantspiration. We should get into the people that started believing in themselves because every single person that joined and who came in and said, "Hey, this year, by the way, I wanted to add since I've joined, this is what we're down so far." And we haven't gotten everybody. We've hit so many people over the years we've been doing this.
Hmm.
But since November, we started the podcast and we kind of started sending out, "Hey, if you could fill this out,
Yeah.
tell us where you're at so far."
You
So
know,
I would say we're at about
mm.
5 or 10%. Do you think that number
Oh yeah, that's yeah, it's a small
a
percentage.
5 to 10% amount of people have given in some totals for this year.
Well, basically for their weight, because it's a nice number we can
And then we'll
measure since you guys started Plantspiration and
and
all
then
the
we'll get to,
people whoever came in, reported
yeah.
back to us, how much weight have you lost?
And then we'll get to questions
Hmm.
because I know we are.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you to the clock that we've been
Yeah.
sent. We
We got
love it. We thank you
a
for your
nice
gifts. We had a
clock for
beautiful
the
ornament. We've
yeah,
gotten the
yeah.
clock because people are like, these people need a clock in here. They
Yeah,
she
they
keeps
don't know
asking
what
like
damn
what
time
time
it
it is.
is.
um,
But yeah, since people have started Plantspiration, they've recorded so far, we've recorded 925 pounds have been lost.
Almost 1,000 pounds have been lost
Have
at
been
Plantspiration
reported. I
that have been
know there's
reported.
other people,
It's
but
going to keep growing is what we're saying.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
started this day one. We're like, I manifested that. I was like, and I think if we talk about all the progress we make each week, people will want to come in and
Yeah.
hear what's going on each week and look at what's happening.
Yeah, so if you're in the community and you haven't reported back,
Please
you
let
can
us know
send me
anytime.
an email if you want, john@plantspiration.org, just that's
He's taking
JOHN.
he's taking care of those numbers
Yeah,
and the slew of diseases that people have reversed. We
seriously.
haven't even tapped into that, but it has been heart disease,
Hmm.
angina, diabetes, lots of hypothyroidism, lupus, autoimmune, Graves' disease. Um, People are losing inches. People are
Hmm.
off their medications. People are off. There has been a infertility reversed. There's
Yeah,
been
like two.
restless leg syndrome. Yeah,
Hmm.
PCOS. We've had so many things. And we're not here writing the research.
Right.
We're reading it and we're teaching people
We're
how to do
applying
it. We're
it.
applying it. Well,
Yeah.
we did apply it, and as you keep hearing, we know how to make it apply and we know how to make it
Yep,
stick. And we teach people how to make this to crush it through diet and lifestyle changes. So
that's right.
that where's the claps for that?
We got them.
925. Yeah.
That's a lot. That's
That's
great.
one more because it was that awesome.
There's all.
End of year 2024. So
Thank you.
can you
Thank you.
believe what 2025 is going to look like if this is how it started? 925 pounds.
That's a lot.
Um, Thank you for everybody for checking in with us on
Hmm.
that. We want to see more of it. And now let's hear those questions so we can let these people get back. Like,
Yeah.
we want to help you crush your goals.
Yeah.
We want this to inspire you to do that, to get this good nutrition and to start tackling this stuff. And I'm going to quick go over the 5 tips.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's pop out a question or two here. How do you stay on track with whole food plant-based when your partner isn't on board?
We get this question every single
Yeah.
day. What's the answer? You even know
Move
this answer.
out.
Stop. You don't do that. You don't say that. You can't do that. What is the answer to that?
Um,
There's really only one. Well, there's a couple.
there's a couple, but I mean, I'm gonna say you definitely need support because you're not getting it there.
It's a big part of Plantspiration and why we're doing what we're doing. And
Yeah.
if you came into the Saturday support group and joined us, you would hear time and time again,
Hmm.
I couldn't do this without the support of everybody in
Yeah,
here. I
yeah,
can't wait to get to the Wednesday night class. I can't wait for the Saturday support group.
yeah.
People are living for this
Thursday Thrive,
because they don't
everything.
have the support.
Hmm.
So, one, I'm going to go over how to manifest your goals, how to make it happen while you're avoiding what they're eating. But you have to remember your why. And
Hmm.
every day over here, you're remembering it and it keeps you on track. So, I wish
Yeah.
I had a simple answer.
Support,
Oh, it is a
focus
simple
on
answer.
you,
Yeah, support and focus on you. Get into
your
Plantspiration
health.
and we'll help you stay there. And you have to focus on your why. Why are you doing this? And that has to
Hmm.
drive you every single day because it's it's just how you do it. That's the answer to that.
That's awesome. I got one here that is, did you backslide at all when you first went whole food plant-based? More of a personal thing question. Did you
What do you
backslide?
think the answer to this is?
Um, Not so far as having animals,
No, but
any animal products.
I didn't even know it was a backslide
Yeah,
until we went through this. So
yeah,
that's a great question, and thank you to everybody who handed those to sent those in.
yeah, yeah.
So we started in 2013, and I did backslide a little bit.
Hmm.
In 2017, now the kids could go out shopping a
Yeah.
little bit more. They were all driving, shopping, going out, but they were bringing home vegan junk food. We had Beyond Burgers coming out. We had more vegan cheeses coming out.
Hmm.
We had more of that stuff coming out, and I'm thinking, I reached my goal. I lost 100 pounds. I reversed all my diseases.
It's
What the
vegan.
chip? It's vegan.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for me.
Mm-mm.
Months in, almost a year, I was like, I feel terrible.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
still looked good. I still looked like I lost the weight, which I did. I kept it off. I kept it off,
Right.
but I was aching. I
Hmm.
was miserable. I was starting to get stiff again, and I couldn't understand what was going on.
Right.
I did like start bringing back my numbers started rising a little bit for inflammation, and I knew right away. I was like, it's the oil.
Hmm.
We were learning more and more, and I was like, I'm just going to get this out all the way. This is no joke.
Right. Right.
So that's why we teach every week no oil because it does matter. It does matter.
Definitely.
It's an inflammatory, it causes problems. And everybody I've worked with so far, when I'm working with reversing autoimmunes, they have to keep that stuff out. So did I backslide? Yes. And what I did was, I reframed the obstacle to what am I going to learn from this? It
Mm.
wasn't really a backslide. I always say my comeback's better than my setback.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
better at it.
So you did the electric slide away from the oil.
I did. I had to. It doesn't do anybody any good.
No, it doesn't. I got another one here with looks like insulin resistance. They're told not to eat carbs,
Mm.
fruit, and beans. Can you weigh in on
Yeah, I can weigh in on that. I'm really
that?
sorry that whoever told you that is spreading misinformation like that. It's scary. We hear it every week, we hear it every day. And that's just simply not the case. So don't take my word for it. Here's what I'm going to tell you it's misinformation. Everybody reversing their diabetes over here is doing it with copious amounts of fruit. The evidence is out, the research is out. We need the fiber, we need the fruit, we need the beans, we need the whole grains, we need the carbs.
Hmm.
This is what we teach, this is what we do, and more importantly, how to actually do that. And
Yeah.
then you'll hear people talking about how they did it too. So there's a couple things going on. One, accept the fact that whoever told you that just isn't up to date on their nutrition
Right.
education.
Right.
That's not the latest in nutrition. And I have not seen anybody eating animal reversing their heart disease or diabetes. It doesn't work like that. And I'm
No.
not talking about treating, and I'm talking about helping people learn how to reverse it. And that's by getting out those animal products and putting beans, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, meaning
Yeah.
complex carbohydrates on your plate.
The exact stuff that doctors say don't eat, like this fruit. That's
Exactly.
what you
So
need.
the problem here is the misinformation, and that doctors are still unfortunately telling people this misinformation.
Mm.
Dietitians, even diabetic dietitians, unfortunately, and it's not their fault. Like
No,
it's
exactly.
not their fault. They're going to school and they're not learning this part because there's no money in getting people
Yeah, they're
healthy.
not
So
taught that on
that's
purpose.
the bottom line. So it is possible, and you should be eating those things because the evidence shows that's how you reverse disease and live longer. And we'll teach you how to
That's
make that
awesome.
happen. And you'll hear people who have done it as well,
Hmm.
right here
Hmm.
with you in classes.
For sure. What do you think? You got time for one more?
Sure.
And is
We're
this a
gonna we're gonna
question?
go hard because it's the last episode of the year. We did it, John. We did it. We said we were gonna start this podcast and we did it. Give me the next
Okay,
question.
it's kind of a busy, busy work schedule, sports schedule,
Wow.
and lots of food allergies. Like, so I guess like how do you navigate this whole food plant-based?
This is a
Crazy
great
work
question.
schedule. I mean, I have
We
a
get
crazy
that.
work
I have a
schedule.
crazy work schedule. And I'm
But
not minimizing or
no,
telling
no,
you that
definitely not.
we appreciate the question, but this is a great, great point to make right here. And I'm glad that this person brought this up and it gives an opportunity to talk about it.
Because no
We're
matter what we're
busy.
eating,
You're eating. So, whatever you're eating that you're not allergic to, eat more of it. And I want to add in
that's
there.
got no animal in it.
So,
Let's
if
get
you
that
have
right.
allergies to food, put in meat and dairy as well, because I'm allergic to chronic disease. Are you allergic to
Yeah,
chronic
most
disease?
certainly.
I'm allergic
Definitely.
to anything that promotes disease.
Yeah.
So there's over 80,000 or 88,000 plants to eat from. We're not allergic to everything, is what I
No,
tell
I'm
people.
sure
We
we can.
find what we can eat.
Yeah.
If you can eat pasta, if you can eat apples, fruits, whatever fruits you can eat, maybe grapes. People have reversed diabetes with sugar and rice.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's been
so
crazy. Studies are out there.
don't find excuses not to do it. Find the reasons why you should do it.
Yeah.
That's the way you reframe those obstacles. A lot of people come in with those questions, and this was great to bring up. They come in with, I can't do this, I can't do this. Think of what you
Hmm.
can do.
Yeah.
What is it that you're not allergic to or that you can eat? And sometimes I want to get into a little bit. What allergy test did you take? Because some of those things can be very, they make a lot of money for people to go through allergy tests, is what I've learned
Yeah.
from other doctors. And it's not always the case. Like people say, I'm allergic to this, and
I mean,
this.
yeah. I mean,
Well,
really, you gotta, are you, is like allergic
is
is
it?
different than I get a
That's where I get to
reaction.
work a little
Yeah.
individually with everybody. So,
Hmm.
what I can say to you is it can be done because if you have time to eat food, make food, go grocery shopping, it
You got
isn't,
time to get
you
healthier
have time
stuff.
to grab the healthier stuff. It just is going to take a minute of learning
Yeah.
and it isn't going to be a quick drive through the, it's like facing that uncomfortable stuff. And that's the hard part that we're going to help
Hmm.
support people through it. So,
Hmm.
get in here, show up to class. That's the hard part, showing up and learning how to do
Yeah.
it. We've got a great class coming up this week.
I mean, you can stay home and show up.
You can stay home and show up. We're
It's all on
virtual.
Zoom virtual.
We're going to be teaching people how to make waffles. Your waffles, you're doing it.
My waffles took months to get that recipe dialed in.
We've really got it dialed
It's a
in.
pancake or a waffle recipe.
We had
That's why it's
pancakes
all.
for dinner almost every day this
Oh, I
week.
got a little something up
Waffles.
my sleeve for
And
this class this week.
we're going to teach people how to actually make air fried cheese fries.
Oh
Like it doesn't
man.
have to be complicated, is what we are compelled to tell you.
Yeah, people need like normal
Yeah.
comfort food, and we still eat that.
We're
You
still eating
see.
it, and we're going to be breaking out our burgers, our Plantspiration
Mm.
burgers. You're going to want to see us
Thank
make
you,
it and how
Val.
easy it is. These burgers we did back in 2013 when we had a
Hmm.
huge graduation party,
Yeah.
and we were like, we're not eating meat, and we got all these people
Well,
coming. So we did that,
yeah.
and we can't wait to teach everybody how simple and easy it is. And then we're going to take the ingredients that we went for the recipes and show you how to use them for the rest of the week because it shouldn't
Yeah.
be complicated. It's not complicated. This is how you do
It's
it,
not.
okay?
It's
Thank you
awesome.
for listening in this far. Let me go down my Master Manifestor five
Yeah.
tips,
Yeah.
by the
Let's
way.
punch that out.
How did we do this? How did we get here? And how are we going to keep on climbing?
Hmm.
Okay. You got to write it down daily. Here's my tips. Get a pen and paper. This is what you hear me
Hmm.
say to people
Definitely.
all
That's
the time.
great.
Write it down. What do you want? What do you
Hmm.
want? I want my podcast to go to the top. That's what
Hmm.
I write down. It's
Yeah.
happening. 42% of people who write it down are more likely to accomplish their goals. You have a 42% more chance of accomplishing your goals when you write it down.
Hmm.
I have stuff written down all over the place. On my mirror in the morning.
Uh-huh.
I've got a whiteboard now I'm carrying around with me like it's,
Yeah.
my gold mine, my note cards. I'm very into RAS,
Hmm.
reticular activating
System.
system.
Hmm.
I learned when you write something down, like, when you see a hot rod and you're like, oh, I want that red
Yeah.
Corvette or that doggy or that whatever, you see it all
You
the
start
time.
seeing more of that. Yeah.
When I started talking about this, you were like, aha, I see
Uh,
the checks coming in the mail.
mm,
I see the jobs coming in. And we started honing in on it.
yeah,
It works. So
definitely.
write it down daily. Daily, this is the work.
Yeah.
If you've got time to scroll through the internet, if you've got time to call your friend and bitch about something, if you got time, and this was me, by
Hmm.
the way, I'm not talking about you. That was me. I realized if I had time to do all that BS, I shut the news off, I shut everything else down, and I started tuning into myself because I wanted this.
Yeah.
Like a vacation, I wrote it down like an itinerary. This is my plan.
That's awesome.
And you make goals, smart goals. They're specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, and they're time bound. I started blocking out time. This is
Hmm.
what I need to do. This is how I'm going to get it done. And it kept getting more organized as I
Yeah.
went.
You got to be organized, Karen.
Favorite movie? There we go. Little, what is that movie?
Goodfellas.
Thank you. Got to be organized. People tell me all the time how organized I am.
Telling you.
Well, I'm getting
Look at
better
what's
at it.
happening. Yeah.
So daily, write down what you want. It's so important. It's just works. Number two, write it down right now.
Yeah. Write it down.
We'll talk about this next year. Send it in. Tell us how your year went because we want to cheer it on for you. Number two, visualize it.
Look at it.
This ain't no joke. Like your vacation, like the house that you want, like the inspiration
Hmm.
that I put on my bike. If you don't visualize yourself there, you're never going to know what steps to take to get there.
Hmm.
You, you don't know. Visualize it. Neuroscience says this activates the neural pathways
Yeah.
to guide your brain into success. It opens it up. Now you see where you're going. I call it kind of cleaning off the windshield wiper. Like,
Hmm.
boom, now you know what direction you're going in. it fires those pathways that make it more possible when you visualize yourself there. And you have to do it like 5 to 10 minutes a day, daily.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think about if you didn't do it daily. Just get to the next day and start doing it. More time on what you're doing. And I see you doing this more,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to do more of it.
Yeah, I definitely you got to visualize it in your head, like really physically visualize it.
We know we're getting better at this, so much so that for New Year
Mm.
2025,
Mm-hmm.
it isn't a resolution,
Mm.
but you saw me dragging it all in.
Yeah, I did. We're doing some vision boards.
That's what I said.
Yeah, like Pinterest in the real. No,
I
we're
got
making our vision
I
boards.
got magazines,
Yeah,
we got markers, we got
heck
big
yeah.
paper sheets,
Poster boards.
poster boards,
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
and we're going to work on a visual um a manifesting board or a
Yeah,
visualization.
manifesting board.
There's something else it's
Vision
called
board,
vision board.
man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Um I don't think you would have done this a couple years ago.
No. I mean, like, that's dumb. But I've learned a lot more, and everything, all of this is manifesting is real. I didn't, all this stuff that
It is
it took a
real.
while to learn of, holy cow, I've been doing that. Like, it really works. So
Yeah,
now it's
think.
like wrapping my head around how to,
And then if everybody stops and think about all the things that they have done and that they have accomplished and those wins and
Mhm.
firing off that dopamine and realizing you can do this, you've got the tools within you. We just got to put it into action. And how to do that is number 3,
Mhm.
gratitude. If we practice gratitude, 3 to 5 things you're grateful for every day. And I work with all my clients with this. And the ones who are doing the gratitude, it is no fail. They do
Mhm.
better.
Heck yeah.
Science tells us it increases optimism, positivity, hope, and
That's right.
dopamine. When we were going through all that tough stuff, what we're about to lose everything,
What?
I had to think about what I had, which was
Yeah.
the ability to make things better, to get through it, to think
Mhm.
about what we learned from this. What am I going to do differently next time? I focus so much more on how to help get us out of it.
It totally,
Supporting.
totally. I mean, without you, without your support, I mean, I don't know. I'd
It was a,
still be sitting in a quiet shop. I mean,
yeah, it
I got a lot
was,
of work coming in now, and it's freaking awesome. I mean, it's
thank
just
you.
been coming in, coming in, coming in.
Watching you practice gratitude is new and
Yeah.
we do more of it. And there's not too much pressure on it. It's
No.
just starting to be more regular where I'm like, let's just start dropping some gratitude.
Right.
That's all it takes is to start practicing gratitude. And some people don't know where to begin. Start with if you can hear this,
Hmm.
be grateful. Some
Yeah,
can't.
exactly.
If you can see this, be grateful. If you have to go down what I call an gratitude inventory,
Yeah.
and I start with just my body and what it's capable of doing.
Right.
Even when I was really unhealthy and overweight, I started having gratitude that my body got me here today.
That's
I
right.
didn't wait till I lost the weight to start being grateful. I started being grateful immediately that I could do something about it. So, with that, then it goes into my number 4, take
Hmm.
aligned action. And what I mean by that is start living the life you want to live.
Right.
Think
Right.
of your success story. Like I pasted my picture.
Like, it's not just going to show up at the front door. Hey, I'm here. Let's live.
It's got to
Like, you
happen
got to
with an
live your
effort.
life
You're going
now.
to have to get up and do stuff that's uncomfortable. You're
You got to
going to
live
have,
with purpose.
yes, you're going to have to be vulnerable and say, I'm not doing this right. You're going to be vulnerable when people see you doing this and they go, what is that? Hey, don't worry about it.
Hmm.
Okay, just keep doing what you're doing. Take the aligned action and break down those goals. Like I said, write a list. I'm going to go grocery shopping. Then cross that off the list, as silly as that may seem. But when you cross it off a list, it's
Hmm.
like boom, dopamine. I did something.
Right.
It's aligned action. You're doing what you want to do.
Just writing your own list, crossing it off as you complete it. That's just the most generic,
Who's
easy stuff. It just multiplies just the goodness of
He
all of
can't
it.
even get it out. He's so excited
Seriously, I'm
about it.
stoked.
Nobody's manifesting, writing down, my life is going to get worse. I want my car to break down.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
And
lose my job.
yeah, right.
I can't wait to go broke. Please use it for good. You've got this unbelievable ability,
Hmm.
this brain we have that we haven't been nourishing. We've been zoning out, doom scrolling, listening to the news.
Hmm.
You know what? We don't know what tomorrow is, but I can tell you what, you can really have an awesome day today as soon as you start telling yourself that there's a better
Right.
way to do it.
Right.
Reframe, number 5, reframe the obstacles.
Yep.
What did we learn from this? We've been reframing these obstacles, for example, every Sunday morning. We
Mm-hmm.
don't edit these.
Mm-hmm.
We are learning how to get together show notes because at first it was like, we're just going to go in there and talk about stuff. And then, of course, we get in here, we're like, what do we talk about?
Yeah.
This is really happening.
But you just got to do it. I mean, you got to really, any obstacles, you just, like you say, and reframe it. I mean, just know that you're going to learn from whatever it is, and we're going to, it's not an obstacle now. It's just a way, it's a learning tool.
And we hope that this inspires you
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do this stuff too, because problem solving daily, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
helps you be more creative, helps you get to your goals. So at the end of the day, I don't think about all the things that went wrong and how
No.
sucky it is. I think, oh man, what could I do differently for that to get better? And that's the tool that I started bringing in all the day and sharpening. Like, what could I do to make this better? Every class was not great. This has
Right.
been a long haul. The
Oh, yeah.
first time that nobody showed up sucked. Starting a support group, 238 support groups
48.
later,
Yeah.
not easy to navigate that all these years. But I didn't think about all the stuff that went wrong. I just kept thinking like, what could I do to make it better?
Definitely.
And that's why it's so successful.
That's right.
We did it. We want to inspire everyone to reach their goals, and we know your goal isn't being unhealthy.
No.
So this is where I'm just going to come out and say it. Join us at Plantspiration.
Yeah.
Learn how to eat your plants off, make healthy lifestyle changes that last, and get the support you
Right.
deserve. Those obstacles you're facing, we want to help you overcome it. Just like the 925 pounds that we've gotten off in
That's
the
right.
slew of chronic diseases.
That,
This
by
is
the
really
way,
happening.
that's only for our in the community when they've started planting. This doesn't include our 250 as a
It
family.
doesn't include probably another 2,000 pounds of
Oh, yeah,
people, to be
easily.
fair,
Easily.
and other diseases from the years that we didn't keep track.
Easily.
But we want you to help us keep track this year for
Yeah.
2025.
Yeah.
We want you to make health your priority
It should be
and your
because nobody
goals.
else is going to do it for you,
You can make
really.
them happen. In January, we're going to be starting the whole Stay Focused Challenge. I do that every day. We're going to continue to teach people how to level up, eat their plants off, prevent and reverse disease. We've got new classes. We're always doing new stuff and breaking our own boundaries.
Yeah, you
Let's
have to.
keep going. And
Seriously.
we're going to keep learning from those mistakes. We can't wait to see you guys into the healthiest year yet.
Yeah.
What are you going to
I'm
say?
just so excited for
Look what we
2025.
did.
I
We
know.
did it. We did the podcast. We made it happen. And you guys, you made this
Thank you
happen. None of
for
this would be possible
hmm
if it wasn't for the comments. Please leave more comments. John loves them.
Yeah, they're
He
awesome.
needs them.
They're
He's
great.
gotten over any anxiety of being here, but because that's how you get through
Well,
it.
yeah, because especially I'm like, oh man, I don't know. And then I see, well, I'm just not really feeling that good about myself
It
about the
happens.
podcast. And then I'll see, oh my God, you guys are awesome.
We're
You're
new to
helping
it.
out. And well, that's all. We're just normal. We relate to people. And I just want you guys to know that, I don't know, there's a healthier life there.
There is.
And you can have it. You can grab it.
And you can grab it and we're going to teach you how and you're going to be surrounded by people. So I guess that's it. I guess we're wrapping it up. The
I guess
last
so.
episode of the year. We can't thank you enough.
Mm-hmm.
Be the inspiration the world needs to see.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what this is about. And we want to help you get there. Health, future, all these wonderful things. Thank you guys so much. Happy New Year. We can't wait for it to be a you year. Thanks
That's
for
right.
following us.
Happy New Year, you guys.
We love you.
Love you.
Eat your plants off and we'll see you in class because we're going to teach you amazing.
Yeah.
Did I swear? Don't swear. We'll
Don't
lose
swear.
somebody.
Cut it out.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Thanks.